Time and Debate, TRZ News. Today's top headlines. India is one of the world's fastest growing economic superpowers, claims Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. What's wrong with India's economy, according to Alam Srinivas? Indians say that their lives are getting worse despite the fast economic growth. Then follow Chaturang Lingam as he interviews Chief Economist of India, Mr. T. Singh, and gets his view on the international business market and India. Finally, Kim Kardashian claims she's all natural.
And now, back to the newsroom where we will cover today's top stories.
Democratic system, India has the 12th largest economy present today. After India declared independence from Britain in 1947, it worked its way to adopt a very unique political system. With a wide participation from the citizens of India, this country has managed to build a democratic state. The politics of India takes place within the framework of a federal constitutional republic. The existing constitutional law outlines the limits upon the government's power and declares who the head of state is. India's current Prime Minister, the Honorable Manmohan Singh, has declared India as the 4th largest economy by purchasing power parity. India's political system has aimed to meet the needs of the society and to prosper as a nation. Now let's take a closer look at how far India has come economically since 1949.
Thanks, Ravina. Since 1991, India's economy has moved to a market-based system with economic freedom. The growth rate of the economy increased in 2000s with healthier economic reforms and policies. India became the second fastest-growing major economy in the world by 2008. Prior to the 1990s, India's economy was very controlled and strictly watched by the government. However, after the arrival of the 1990s, India's economy took a turn for better as privatization of state-owned enterprises and reduced controls on foreign trade and investment began. Since India's turn towards a rather mixed economy in the 1990s, their economy has grown about 7% annually. India's economy has been largely based on agriculture for years, and due to interdependence and globalization, services have become a major input in India's economy. The 1990s brought along great economic change for India. Now let's take a quick look at India's growth as an economic superpower.
2010 brought along a very prosperous time for India's economy. After the 2008 financial crisis, India's economy exceeded 8% year-on-year. After several official predictions that India would grow by 7 to 8% in the year of 2011 to 2012, the finance minister finally admitted in his budget speech that the growth would be 6.9%. The economy of India is dependent on its large internal market. Around 1.45% of global merchandise trade and 2.8% of global commerce service exports were done by India. It is one of the most preferred destinations for foreign direct investments. According to recent statistics, the FDI inflow was about $24 billion. It is quite clear that India is going to be an economic power.
Yes, Ravina, I agree with you. That is quite true. Although also, globalization gives additional job opportunities, additional capital, and additional know-how. With this happy combination, the report expects India to become the world's fastest-growing economy by 2013-2015. India is poised to accelerate its growth rate to 9 to 9.5% over 2013 to 2015, even as China will cool down to 9% by 2012 and to 8% by 2015.
Yikes, Damon. Apart from the great strides which India is making internationally, many domestic changes are also benefiting India's economy. Massive government welfare and rural employment programs have helped drive down poverty rates, the Gallup survey found. The share of people saying that they did not have enough money for food dropped to 13% in 2012 from 35% in 2006. The high levels of inflation have helped suppress India's sense of financial well-being. Stress levels have risen, and the number of people who count on social support and help has fallen. The percentage of those who say they had smiled or laughed the previous day fell to 52% in 2012 from 62% in 2006.
You know, Ravina, living in North America, we kind of take these things for granted, and I'm really thankful for the ability, to smile.
Alrighty, now let's join Mr. Chaturang Lingam, TRZ's chief correspondent on economic issues, as he interviews Mr. T. Singh on India's business environment. Now over to you.
And now let's join Mr. Chaturang Lingam in his interview with Mr. T. Singh from India.
Thank you, Ravina. Today I'm honored to have in front of me India's chief economist, Mr. T. Singh. Welcome to our studio, sir.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here.
Well, sir, recent studies have been conducted on India's economy, and it shows that India is projected to grow and prosper over the years to come. However, despite the great news, there are some political risks involved. Would you please explain?
See, despite the great economic strides which India has made in the past years, the political system continues to remain an obstacle for both domestic and foreign businesses.
Interesting. You know, sir, something doesn't feel right. You know, I don't think I can carry on this interview. I think I need some refreshments. Can I get some tea, please, guys? Tea? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You know, so this is India, right? Nothing happens without tea in this country. Thank you. All right. Just a second. That is India in a cup.
I do.
I see. Now, where were we? Yes. Sir, there's a large business community in India, and so I was wondering if you could just elaborate on the points you mentioned earlier.
Well, see, the sad thing about this is that India is a very corrupt system, which proves to be risky for many business ventures. Government officials are known to take bribes and to cheat the bureaucratic system. One can easily bribe the officials and get away with infringing laws.
That's very disgusting. Very disgusting. So, sir, how would this affect the business community, business in general?
See, the thing is, both foreign and domestic business end up suffering to the widespread of corruption. Domestic business usually get an upper hand, and when competing against foreign business that are unaware of local practices, I can't even tell you. For example, domestic business usually hold personal relationship with individuals who have great political influence, and that gives unfair advantages to local businesses.
Local businesses, yes, that's really a big issue right now in India. So, like, what impact would this have on local communities in India?
See, the thing is, corruption largely impacts those on the lower end of the domestic scale. Small businesses who are striving to make a living are hurt by richer and larger businesses who can provide the extra money to work with hidden corrupt practices. At the end of the day, corruption makes the richer richer and the poor poor.
Well said, an excellent input, Mr. Singh. You know, briefly, can you just summarize the political risk that may affect our foreign friends, our foreign investors out there?
Despite the widespread of corruption, it is also very unfortunate to say that terrorist acts are prominent in India. To put this into perspective to our viewers, just last year, in 2011, the Mumbai bombings occurred, which left most of India devastated. A majority of large businesses are located in this busy city, and both domestic and foreign businesses were hurt.
Yes, sir. That was a very tragic event in our history, and definitely our condolences go out to the families who are affected. So, sir, can you please elaborate upon the effect that this had on business?
Well, Mumbai is known as India's financial capital, generating a great amount of revenue each year. And so two of India's largest stock markets are located in Mumbai, right? And despite the great havoc which the bombings caused, India's stock market business continued working the very next day. Although the emotional and mental effect left deep scars on the hearts of many, Indians citizens did not let this incident stop them from continuing onward with their lives.
Yes, sir. How can one protect or manage these risks, such as terrorism, as you mentioned?
See, after these incidents, India has taken an extra step forward in regarding security measures. To implement this further, many Indian businesses have adopted the SWOT method, which stands for strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This method allows a business to analyze and to identify key internal and external factors that are important to achieving a company's overall objective. This includes implementing better security measures.
Yes, that's very, very well said there, Mr. Singh. Very well said. So, sir, it's almost time to wrap up this interview, and so just one last statement. So, in conclusion, like, can you provide us with a brief summary of how the economic and the political system of India is affecting businesses?
See, in general, one has to be aware that conducting businesses in any country comes with its own pros and cons. In India, one has to be aware of the corruptions, which is widely spread, and one must take precautions when conducting businesses in large cities. Yes, there have been a few terrorist attacks, but that won't stop India from continuing to expanding their economy.
Yes. Well said, sir. Well said. And well, actually, time is up right now, but thank you so much for coming to our studio and speaking to us about the political risk and how it's affecting business. That'll be all for today. Now over to Ravina for the weather.
Up next, India's forecast, brought to you by the Weather Network.
Today's weather will not be broadcasted due to the high levels of pollution in the skies of India. We will have today's weather delivered to you tomorrow.
We interrupt you with bloopers that were made during the recording of this presentation. Stay tuned.
Is that when I pressed the button?
We have a blooper reel here.
Okay.
He got nervous.
Well, yes, sadly, but true. Wait. How does that make sense?
What?
See, I go into well,
Okay,
yes.
it's grammatically correct.
No, I meant like it doesn't translation properly. Because I go, well, yes.
Excuse Mr. Keating here at the sort out some technical difficulties. I hope this is recording. Stay tuned.
Okay,
After the 2000...
Wow.
Okay, I'm sorry. This even scares me. Okay, I will make a movie. After the 2008, how do you say it?
What?
After...
So when am I flipping the table?
Thank God I got that last part.
Another TRZ production.
I'm not even sure we got the whole thing. Let's do that again.
Kim Kardashian claims she's all natural. Seriously, is that a typo? Guys, is that a typo? Seriously?
And this was another proud presentation brought to you by TRZ.